Hey everyone, this is System 509 here. I'm going to be doing a commentary track for episode 3 of Sonic Ops. This is something I wanted to do for a while, and it's only just now that I've been able to do it because my computer decided it wanted to crap itself to sleep right after this episode was uploaded to YouTube, literally the exact same day. So yeah, we've had a lot of technical issues on my end, but it seems to be resolved now, so I'm getting back into the swing of things. So without further ado, let's begin. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Please support the official release as always. This is the first episode of Sonic Ops to crack 10,000 views too, so that's pretty cool. 8:30 in the afternoon.
Headed northeast over the deserts. We're on route.
Sergeant Major Mario playing the voice of the pilot.
Everything's a go.
This new girl seems a little out of sorts. Just stay here and let us know if anything comes up.
You got it, ma'am.
Alright, first thing I want to talk about here. This part, right where Rouge walks through the door here. There's no actual pathway between the cockpit and the back room of the helicopter. The back of the helicopter and the front cockpit do exist, but there's no way to get between them. There's just a wall. So what I did here, as soon as the door opens, it's replaced by a green screen. Then the green screen itself starts to get bigger as both it and Rouge start moving backwards towards the camera. As she's moving backwards, she's animated to look like she's walking forwards. As she's finished walking forwards, she walks to the left, and that's when the green screen takes up the entire screen itself. So you go from her not really leaving the cockpit ever. It just kind of looks like she does. It took a lot of time to get that right. A lot of back and forth, a lot of mistakes on my end. Had to learn a few new things for it, but it worked out in the end. I think it's a pretty good shot. So let's switch this. Yeah. Not my best work, but pretty good. Got to explain where the clothes came from. Apparently in this universe, Vanilla used to dress like that.
Alright, since you weren't here for this, we're gonna have to explain it again for you, Tails.
Yeah, so this whole conversation happened off screen in episode 2.
The last few
We
months,
waited
you
until
and I
Tails
have
was here to
detected huge energy
show it.
spikes across the globe. They pop up randomly in different locations.
That's why Sonic looks so bored, because he's already heard all of this stuff.
Disappears.
Like what?
Tails, of course, is absolutely fascinated by the hologram.
An old shoe and a sandwich. That is.
Wait for that sandwich and that shoe to show back up, it's coming.
It seems to have left behind our new friend here.
Because Sally doesn't know how she got here either.
At first, I thought it might have something to do with a machine we've been experimenting with back in my world called the Dimension Cannon. But we could never
Dimension
get
Cannon,
it
yeah.
to work.
That's a thing that exists in Doctor Who. That's a reference to Doctor Who.
Back at the house, the first thing we did was
So how I did that floating hologram with the Earth, that's actually what I did was I rendered the scene out twice.
That's right.
Once with the Earth spinning above the table and once without it spinning. And what I did was I put the two together and I put one on top of the other and I set it to 50% transparency. And because of that, it makes it look like the Earth is a hologram in the scene. Because everything else looks exactly the same, even with the opacity down to 50. I got to thank Johnny Cruzcars for that one, because he told me about that on Twitter and it was a really good help.
When GUN detected the latest anomaly last night, they wanted
Go
to
subscribe to Johnny
get some
Cruzcars
comments
on
made
YouTube.
at the time.
I think his name on there is Fierce Sonic 100.
Take care of him.
Yeah, go subscribe to him if you're not already, he's great.
Already arrived on the scene and done your own little investigation, Fox boy.
You tell what she's holding in her hand there? That's a Sega Genesis controller.
We still need to figure out who did that. When I get my hands on them, I swear I'm gonna
Sonic being a big brother.
Whoever it was, they're definitely not.
I like doing that thing with the eyes, that was funny.
But they didn't finish me off when they had the chance. All they did was steal that little machine.
Yeah, they didn't finish him off. No one ever says the word kill,
It was Nicole.
except when they do.
She would have scanned everything she could during our trip from my world to this one.
Yeah, Nicole doesn't show up in this episode at all, does she? Even though she gets mentioned.
With the Dimension Cannon, these
Another name drop for the Dimension Cannon.
power
It's going to come up
source
later.
kept these portals open. With Nicole's data, maybe we could locate the source.
Problem is, we have no way to predict where or when these portals will appear or
This
what
was a
will
fun
happen
scene to animate. It took a long time to get all this lip
That's why
syncing right,
GUN wants
but it was
the
worth it.
smartest person in the world helping us figure them out.
Oh yeah? Who'd you get?
I much prefer humble Tails to the cocky one we're getting lately.
Thanks!
Tails isn't the kind of guy that I think should be cocky and arrogant. I think that's more Sonic's thing. I guess you could say Sonic's having a bad influence on him. Okay, here we go. The first appearance of the giant robot. I've got a lot to say about this guy. Voiced by Pixel Rush on YouTube. Probably heard of him. He's a great animator. He does SFM stuff too. So yeah, this robot is actually a reference to, in Sonic Chronicles, there are these types of enemies. I think they're called SWAT bots, named after the ones from the old cartoon. And what it is you can't really damage them very well with physical attacks. It's got to be some kind of energy-based thing. And because of that, that's why Sonic and the other team can't really do anything to it when they fight it. It's a sort of reference to the way that they're really hard to defeat if you don't have energy-based attacks in that game. Because they can really mess you up, those kinds of enemies in Chronicles. If you are prepared to fight them, you can basically wipe to them if you don't have a way to regenerate your energy and stuff like that, you know? Yeah, that's what that whole thing is a reference to. The whole TF2 thing is just because it was the first giant robot that I thought looked similarly enough to the SWAT bots from that game that I could use it. I tried to recreate it myself actually using different pieces in SFM, but it didn't work out, so I ended up having the result of using a pre-made thing. Which ended up working out pretty well too. Of course we get the end of the intro here. All the shades and stuff, Nicole and Sally. Looking forward to starting episode 4 soon, but this is episode 3, The New Girl. An episode entirely based around Sally. So yeah, fun fact, originally I was going to have a guest animator do this one shot here of the helicopter. I was having trouble with it at the time, and I managed to figure out what to do. Maybe we'll get some guest animators in the future, I don't know, but that had to end as it was. And here we go with some SAS-AM audio. Jim Cummings Robotnik. Still one of my favourite versions of the character.
I hate to bother you, but Cheese was wondering if he could ask you a question.
Cheese is cute as fuck.
Of course, dear. What did he want to ask me?
He just wanted to know what it was like on your world. Is it nice?
It was.
You'd think Cream would have mentioned that she's met an interdimensional person before, huh?
Everywhere? Are the chow just as cute? What color is the sky?
I am planning on putting a reference to Blaze in here at some point because the fact that Sally's also the princess from another dimension is just too similar to not mention.
When it catches the waves.
Of course, here we have Cashlyn doing the first of the monologues of this episode. She really does shine in this episode. She's terrific. It's great working with somebody this talented and someone willing to work as hard as she is.
Oh, the people. Never a kinder or happier kingdom in all of history.
That was such a hard shot to do with the stars in their eyes, but it was so worth it. That's the cutest thing I think Cream's done so far. See, her and Cheese both know there's something up here.
Agent Rouge, we need you in the
Cream might be 6 years old, but she isn't stupid.
Let's go.
Look at that untextured joystick. Look at that untextured joystick in his hand.
Must be serious. This is Agent Rouge.
It's only on there for a second, so it's hard to spot, but you know, it's untextured. Okay, so this is done by AI15. It's a text-to-speech thing that you can do online.
Rouge out. Get us
That's the voice of Miss Pauline being synthesized by the AI. Here we have Sergeant Major Mario's OC. Looking at some random pink hedgehog. I think that random pink hedgehog belongs to somebody on Twitter, but I can't remember. This is Dr. Eggman's base. Yeah, we need something to break up the Sonic and Sally stuff in this episode, so I basically emailed Donnie Evans and asked him if he could do this little scene for me here real quick. And he's an absolute joy to work with too. He's great. He got to it really quick. Oh, look at that text. Pause it and look at that text on that paper. Yeah, I basically had to throw this out and say, hey, look, we need to do a scene with Eggman that's really short to split the episode up. Can you do this little scene for us quickly? And I threw this together in about, I'd say 20-25 minutes, but I think it's pretty funny.
I have it here, sir. Ham, cheese, lettuce and
Yeah, that's Cubot being used as a coffee table.
just like you ordered.
Yeah, I don't like Cubot. I think Orbot and Eggman have a great rapport as it is. I don't think we need Cubot. I guess there was some milk inside that sandwich because there was a big white splash. I don't know, that was supposed to be the mayonnaise.
I think the strike has forced my emotion shape back
I couldn't think of any other effect use. But he is Sergeant Major Mario also doing the voice of Orbot. He does a lot of voices in this episode.
Talking, more sandwiching. I can't build my magnum.
Less talking, more sandwiching.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
People have asked me, why does Orbot make noise when he hovers when he doesn't do that in anything else? And it's just because it's always bothered me that Orbot doesn't have any visible or audible sounds when he's floating. That was the sound of a scout screaming.
Counter uncontained. Counter uncontained. Counter uncontained.
There we go with the capture robot going on a rampage.
That thing's going on a rampage. We gotta get down there before anyone gets hurt.
Cream and Tails hyping each other up at the background there. That was cute.
I am a plan of attack.
That line's not as cool as you think it is.
Just drinking my coffee, don't you worry. Maybe go with this first scene. This is pretty cool what's happening here. As the three are falling towards the camera, they're not actually moving any further away from the helicopter. The helicopter is actually shrinking to make it look like they're falling away. Now bit there where he smashes through the wall. Obviously you don't see the wall get smashed because I can't do that in Source Filmmaker. And there's Tails' hand cannon. Love that thing. That's for Sonic Battle. I feel there's many references as I can into these combat scenes. That's why Rouge does the spinning kick from Sonic X. Another return for the Lightspeed attack, but this time we get the Thunder Shoot from Sonic Heroes too. This was fun to do. It's a double Thunder Shoot light-based attack. What would you call that? The double lightning speed attack? I just like combining the abilities. I think it's something the games don't do enough of.
Counter uncontained.
So there you go again, another physical attack, not going to do much damage. Yeah, don't try and jump kick at Sonic. There's one of my OCs up there in that tower.
Hands to yourself, Rust Bucket.
I like him doing the peel out, it's cool. Don't get enough of the peel out.
Nicole, I need a scan of.
Sally trying to use Nicole, but obviously she hasn't got Nicole.
Just stay out of the way.
And that's going to lead into some more conflict in the future, with Sally not being able to really do much in fights.
Take a hit. I can't open it up.
Its armor is too strong to attack. Try hitting the joint area.
See, Sally's figured it out. Sonic's not going to listen.
My son, he fell down the well, and he's too young to get out.
Sergeant Major Mario with another character, because he's in this so much. The bad Nick Bunker written in pink. Now here's one thing I don't like, is how little build-up there is to this team-up attack that Sonic and Tails do. It just sort of happens. If I'd done this again, I would have done some more build-up to that. That's the team-up attack from Sonic the Hedgehog before episode 2. I'm not sure this is an attack that they've ever done, I just thought it would be cool. It's actually based on, you know, the Mega Man Sonic crossover comics. There's a scene in that where Mega Man uses Sonic like a giant bullet. I thought it'd be cool to reference that since that is basically the Mega Man arm cannon that Tails is using. And here we go, he's getting captured. We're very lucky this robot doesn't want to kill anybody, or he could have easily crushed him in that shot there.
It's just got a whole lot worse.
The jump sound on Rouge here is way too loud. I never noticed that until it was too late. Really bad editing on my part.
Sir, you told me your son was a little boy, not a grown man
Jeez,
just doing
copying
his job.
Cream
Don't
here.
you understand how much danger we're
cute.
all in right now?
I'll have a word with him, ma'am. Thanks for trying to help. Come on, Dad.
That's Eddie, Galactic Cuisine. Get used to hearing his voice again because he's been doing the voice of Knuckles in episode 4. The one and only spring in this entire town. It's almost like these things are placed here purposefully. There you go again. No, Sonic, you're not going to do much damage doing attacks like that on this thing.
No.
Yeah, he takes out the most powerful guy in the room really easily.
Counter uncontained.
Cream, follow me. We're no match.
One thing that was pointed out to me after I finished animating this was how I didn't make the camera shake nearly enough during these fight scenes. I really should have.
Go.
It's something I always plan to do and then always forget to do. Good job, Cheese. Oh, poor little thing.
Unidentified life form contained. Continuing capture protocols.
Yeah, now it's only Rouge left. All the fighters are basically gone at this point.
I don't normally do the whole hero thing, but you'll keep those chrome-tipped mitts off that kid if you know
That was the
what's
line
good
that was
for
thrown
you.
in at the last minute. That wasn't in the script originally, but I wanted to give Rouge more to do in this scene. Originally she did just swoop down and attack it and then lose, and I thought that was a bit lame. So I had Orphan do that line about the chrome-tipped mitts for me. Oh yeah, this thing can shoot down helicopters too.
Counter uncontained.
Yeah, I guess the capture beams just sort of blow you up if you're not a organic thing.
We have to get to
Who
the
knows?
site. I have an idea.
So yeah, he's too big to fit through there, so he's got to find another way. You can just barely make out there's a door there. But yeah, that's where he's heading. This is one of the first scenes I ever animated for the episode.
You need to get out of here.
Basically, what happens is I animate based on what I'm capable of doing. When I don't have the voice lines I need, I animate fight scenes first, because you don't need voice lines for most of those.
Besides, maybe I could buy you some time.
I like how he cocks it like a shotgun.
Definition is Foxtrot 40. But my
You never
name
see
is
the wisp
Jake,
on.
man.
You never see the wisp that's in this wispin.
Shouldn't we help him, Miss
You never see
Igor?
white wispins go in. You never see white wisps go inside the wispins in Sonic Forces. So part of me thinks that the white ones don't actually have wisps inside them. I'll have to look into that though. Could be fun to give James a little teammate next time he shows up. So this whole shot here was green screened as well. There's actually nothing behind that door. I had to put a big green screen in there too. Yeah, he doesn't get to do much. It's one of the situations where he tries to be the hero and fails miserably. Oh, that was so hard to animate all those boxes falling on top of him. But yeah, James isn't dead. James isn't actually dead. Sonic mentions he's alive later on, but yeah, people probably think he's dead from that, which I don't blame them.
Gotta get the light refractors aligned, then put the battery on a feedback loop.
He's just severely injured.
Energy folding back. It should give me enough of a charge to fry the insides for a minute. Cream, see if you can find a small piece of glass that'll fit.
So yeah, the very first thing I ever animated for this episode was the fight scene for Cream and the robot. Basically I animated this because I didn't need any voice lines for it at all. I can just put the robot lines in whenever I want. And Cream never had any voice lines for this to begin with. All of a sudden had to do the lines herself without watching the footage and just did generic battle sounds that I spliced in later. I like how her flying disrupts the robot for a second. It doesn't know how to deal with a flying rabbit, I love that. I messed up that particle. I did the timing on the particles wrong, so it looks like a constant picture and not what a muzzle flash should look like. And there's Cream trying to pull them out of the thing on its back. She can't do it. I mean, my choice to use Guardian Rock. I like the idea that Cream is more capable than people give her credit for. And that song's all about, you know, being more capable than people think you are. That's why I chose it. Because, at the end of the day, there's only so much Cream can do. Ah well, she tried. Here we go with the scary music from, I think this is Sonic Adventure 2 music. That's how you can do it. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, it's jammed. Pull it. Oh, there you go. So yeah, that's how it ends. Everybody dies. Nah, of course not. This was such a hard explosion to do. I didn't know how the animation with the lightning bolts worked, but I got it eventually. And yeah, I had to use the Demo Man sound effect for the screaming robot there because I didn't ask Pixel Rush to do anything for it. Originally it wasn't going to have any screaming, but I needed to do it. Didn't seem right without it. Well, it's not over yet. See, when you can't do a scene transition, just knock your main character out and then just have the scene change while they're asleep. Duke Nukem Forever did that a lot.
While you were asleep. He's flying us to the base.
Thank you for saving us, Miss Acorn.
I'm just happy to help.
Got it!
I like giving Tails this comically oversized wrench. But the crazy thing is, it's not oversized. That's like its normal size when you spawn that model. Because it's not meant to be used by these tiny little characters.
Powered by electricity, then what?
No idea.
Everyone forgets Sonic characters are like 3 feet tall. So everything normal size for us looks giant for them.
So cool.
But it just looks good to me, I think.
Universes can have different laws of physics. Jesus.
Yeah, you can just imagine that the rest of the robot is all powered up in the back there where the dark, you know, where the lights aren't lit up. And here we go with the other monologue that Caston absolutely kills. I love her performance in this scene, it's so good.
I liked being able to pretend, just for a little bit, that everything was how I remembered it when I was your age.
Being around Cream reminds her of the old days.
Nothing had ever happened. But that was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Oh, look at she's being all cute.
An evil monster bent on dominating the planet.
Yeah, she's talking about Robotnik here. I wonder if people... I hope people get that. People are still questioning if this is the comic version or the cartoon version, but this is definitely the cartoon version. I never read the comics until after the Mega Man crossover, and then they got cancelled pretty much after that, so I never bothered to pick them up after more than a few issues, so I don't really know anything about the comic books beyond, you know, what I've heard from other Sonic fans who have read them. I know it started off as like a comedic thing of all things, which is weird to me. And then it became more dramatic over time.
The sky is just like I remember it, and nobody knows who I am. Things were so simple when I was a kid.
Yeah, you can't use this music. This episode got copyright claimed by Murray Gold because I used his music for this scene, so if I ever re-release the episodes as one big cut together movie type thing, I'm going to have to change the music for this scene. It literally got copyright claimed before it was finished being uploaded. Never use Murray Gold's music in your stuff. This pokey little Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon got copyright claimed. I find that hilarious. And of course, I messed up the lighting in this final shot with the helicopter here. There's supposed to be mountains back there, but you can't see them because it's too dark. Oh well. I guess the desert at night would be pitch black. So yeah, here we go. We got Arthur and you got Sergeant Major Mario doing a whole bunch of voices here. But big shout outs to everybody on the cast. They all did a great job. I'm hoping to get more people in for episode 4. All these models and particle effects and stuff. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm using all these people's effects. I just write down literally every effect that I'm subscribed to on the workshop because it's just easier that way. It would take so long to go through all the effects I used and keep track of them all that I just said screw it, let's just write down every single one that I have. And here's all the OC owners that we used in this episode. Most of these are their Twitter handles because that's where I got the OCs from. Bunch of nice people let me use their characters like that. Okay, well that has been the commentary track for episode 3 of Sonic Ops. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.